I got a surefire method to help you break any bad habit. Tony Aragon here from Plan Nirvana. On this channel, we help you find your confidence to increase your confidence so you can get the best out of life. Today, I want to talk about the most effective method to break a bad habit. A habit is typically something we do without thinking about it, unconsciously. And when we think about habits, normally we think about bad ones that impact our life negatively. However, they can be good habits and bad habits. And really, if you think about it, the best way to get rid of a bad habit is to overwhelm it, kind of brush it aside with good habits. When you're self-aware enough that you realize that a habit is impacting you negatively, the beginning of it is visualizing what it looks like at the end. When I was about 13 years old, I picked up smoking. And I smoked for about 17 years. My first son was getting ready to be born, and I was walking up a flight of steps. When I got about halfway up, I couldn't breathe. And I've had many times where people told me not to smoke. I was having other things that were going on with my body. I had x-rays. The doctor saying there was some spots on my lungs that were, not emphysema, but, he was kind of wanting to say, hey, you're going that way. And it was at that moment that visualization began to take over me. How am I going to be able to play ball with my son or run with him when I can't even make it up a flight of stairs? And so it was right then that I knew what it looked like when I quit this habit. I was going to be able to throw, I was going to be able to run, I was going to be able to do a number of things with my son. After I really had the why, the visualization, what it looked like at the end when I was successful quitting smoking. There was a couple of things. I did try some Nicorette gum and the patches and stuff, but ultimately how I quit was cold turkey. The next step up from after knowing what it was going to look like when I was successful is I wanted to think of some things that were good substitutes to be able to use. You see, it's not just the unconscious part of it, but there's other things that happen around you that you do. In this case, when I smoked cigarettes, it was my hand to my face. And so then I utilized what I was already doing to try and have a substitute. Well, that substitute ended up being sunflower seeds, and I still chew them to this day. The other thing that I did once I had the substitute, I knew what it looked like when I was successful. I then moved on to trying to understand not just the addiction, but also what was triggering me. When were the times that I enjoyed smoking the best? And it was after dinner and when I first woke up, just before I went to bed, and a number of different things throughout the course of my day. If I got too stressed and, really any common excuse was good enough for me to put a cigarette in my mouth. And so then what I ended up doing is after I knew what the triggers were, then I would immediately go to those substitutes. So after dinner, I would chew, some sunflower seeds. So once I realized what my triggers were, I then would kind of go on to some other things about, making sure that I built myself up. I wasn't going the wrong way. And this is where I believe in negative self-talk can really impact you if you have bad habits. And you have to fulfill your time. You are going to be successful. You are going to win. We don't want to be negative when you're trying to overcome bad habits. Is just have an understanding that you're going to have setbacks. But it doesn't mean that you are going to go back to the same unconscious way you were before. So you're self-aware now. You have planned out some. You have gotten it to, exactly what it's going to look like when you overcome, when you are successful in quitting or doing whatever you think is a negative aspect of your life. And a bonus really on the side is maybe have somebody that you can count on if they start seeing you slip or whatnot, that they come to help you, lift you up, and tell you that you're going to be able to overcome it. So the most effective way to break a bad habit with is to be able to replace it with good habits. You get rid of the bad, in with the new.